This started around 5 years ago, shortly after my youngest turned one. I have always been sensitive, but this had started to frighten me. One night, I was getting ready to put my youngest to bed. He had fallen asleep on the couch. We kept all the bedroom doors closed at the time, as he was walking around and had already brained himself on the door multiple times trying to close it. I had picked him up and asked my middle one to please open the door for me. As I waited for him to come into the hall, I watched as the bedroom door clicked open and swung into the room. I had frozen in shock and had only snapped out of it when my middle one had asked why I asked him to open the door that was already opened. I had shrugged the question off at the time, telling him I was sorry, I forgot I had already opened it. No door in my house just swings open. It stays exactly where you leave it. When I told my husband, he brushed it off, saying I must have imagined it or there was a breeze that pushed it open. The next day, I wanted to be sure of what I saw. I left it cracked and carried my youngest back into the same area, and the door did not move. I opened the windows and the door still did not move. Over the last 5 years, I have seen and heard many things happening in my house. I would be happy to share those stories as well, as no one else sees or hears it. They brush me off and tell me I am imagining things. That is until this last week. I had given up trying to explain what I was seeing and hearing to my family, as they did not believe me. I had gone to take a shower, and my husband was watching a movie and eating ice cream with kids. The lights were off because you cannot have movie night in a lit room. When my daughter came back from putting her bowl in the kitchen, she sat down next to her dad. As soon as she pulled her feet onto the couch, the lamp in the corner of the room turned on. My husband, being skeptical man he is, thought it was my middle child. He asked if he was back behind the couch, and the second later he walks into the room from the kitchen. Now this is a crank lamp. You have to really turn the dial for it to lit up. I had turned it off before getting into the shower, as I knew they would start the movie without me. When I left the bathroom, my husband looked at me and says, I think you were right about the ghost. He pulled up the security camera footage and you can clearly see the lights turn on. You can hear him ask for my middle child and see him enter the room for a few seconds later. Now, I feel smug that I'll no longer be called crazy, but the activity has picked up quite a bit since the last year. It has started to make me uneasy, especially since my youngest has started seeing the same figure I see in his bedroom.